In this video, I'm going to be vibe coding with the newly released Kimi K2.6, which released just a few hours ago from Moonshot AI. Kimi K2.6 outperforms GPT 5.4 Extra High, Claude Opus 4.6, and Gemini 3.1 Pro. Now, this does not come as a surprise to me as these labs are benchmarking. I just want everybody to get on the same page. They are training these models to do particularly well on these benchmarks because even, for example, you can look at this post that I made on X. It's got 134,000 impressions. So what they're doing is they're purposefully training the model in a way where it will perform well on these highly touted popular benchmarks. Anthropic did this with Claude Opus 4.7, and I think that we're at the point where we can't really trust these benchmarks anymore. We have to go a little bit deeper. We have to put this model into real world practice and see how it handles real vibe coding workflows. And that's why in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys what I built with it on stream today using an agent swarm. I'm going to be actually putting it through my normal everyday vibe coding workflow on BridgeMind products and seeing how it holds up. And I'm also going to be showing you the results from BridgeBench. But with that being said, I do have a like goal of 200 likes on this video. If you guys have not already liked, subscribed, and joined the BridgeMind Discord community, BridgeMind is the home of the vibe coding movement with over 8,600 builders. So make sure you join. There's a link in the comment below, in the description below. But with that being said, let's get right into testing this new model out. All right, guys, so the first thing that I want to show you is what I actually built on stream today using a Kimi K2.6 agent swarm. So I built this game. You guys can see my prompt up here. I said I want you to launch an agent swarm that will work together to create a hyper-realistic zombies game that is designed after the famous Black Ops map, The Giant. Zombies should come at me in waves, and I should be able to have a machine gun and buy weapons off the wall for credits. So this is the game, and I do want to break this down because this swarm mode, this is in beta, this just released along with the model, and I have to say it's quite impressive. So I want to show you how this works. So basically this creates sub-agents. You can see here that it created an asset generator called Shannon, and you can even see the role. So this is very impressive. It basically creates these sub-agents. There was a game engine dev called Woo, and here's the role description for that. Here, gameplay dev, you can check out the role description there. And then the sub-agents then work together to be able to create the game. And, you know, something that was actually really cool on stream is we could see as the asset generator here, Shannon, was creating the assets for the game. So you can see here it created an image of a gun. If we go over here, you can see that it created an image of, you know, the texture of the floor, which was very interesting. It created an image of like a rifle. So very interesting stuff that it created. It looks hyper realistic, right? Like I was very impressed, you know, on stream when we were watching it create this, everybody was like kind of holding their breath. They were like, how good is this game going to be? Because this looks incredible, right? And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, whoa, is this like is this like a Chat GPT moment? Let's now actually take a look at the game that it created. Note that this took about 30 to 60 minutes. And if we look at the code, this is not a single HTML file. This is actually like a TypeScript game. So if you guys look at this, this is the app.tsx file. It has a game container, a menu playing. You guys can check it out. There's a game canvas. So it's not a single HTML file as was requested. And somebody actually mentioned to me that the reason that it's not a single HTML file is that this agent swarm mode is meant to create like complete applications. So even if you prompt it in a particular way, the way that it's built is to create complete applications. So let's now dive in and do click to start, and let's check out this game that Kimi K2.6 created. So the first thing I want to show you guys is the attention to detail. So the zombies come at me. I can shoot them with that M1911 that we looked at. Remember, it created the image of the M1911. We can shoot all these, but there are a lot of Cricket Wireless zombies that are chasing me around the map. One thing that I want to draw your attention to is just the attention to detail. Look at these beams. They don't go anywhere. They're just kind of hanging from the ceiling. Also, look at how many zombies are chasing after me right now. And look at how many it says that there are. It says that there's 3 remaining. But I don't know if I'm crazy or not, but it looks to me like there's more than 3 zombies coming at me. So this was just one example, but this is what it created after about 30 to 60 minutes using that agent swarm feature. I don't want to judge it too based off of this because it's trying to create a game using TypeScript, right? So we can't really, like, you don't really create a game using TypeScript that's of that nature, right? Like, you're not rebuilding Black Ops 3, The Giant, using TypeScript. TypeScript. So we'll give it a pass on this one, but I would definitely say, yeah, that's not good, right? The output that Kimi K2.6 produced with this game was just not good. The next thing that I want to draw your attention to is the pricing and context window of Kimi K2.6. So as you guys can see, the context window is 262,000 tokens, nothing new there. The output price is $4 per million, and the input price is 95 cents per million. So relatively small context window, relatively inexpensive compared with Frontier Labs. But note that this is an open source model. So if we go over to Hugging Face, it's already available on Hugging Face. As you can see here, it has a 1.1 trillion parameters. It's 1.1 trillion parameters. And if we go to files and versions, you can see that you can actually download this. The total file size is 595 gigabytes. So I cannot run this. I cannot download this on my DGX Spark. But for somebody that had, maybe a data center or something like that, you could run this locally. But for the most part, the best way to run this is just going to be connecting via the Moonshot API or OpenRouter. So if we go over to OpenRouter, we're now going to test this out a little bit inside of OpenCode. I'm just going to connect to it, and we're going to run this through my normal everyday vibe coding workflow, and I'll see how it feels. I need you to open up 7 additional OpenCode agents.
7 more OpenCodes up.
I now would like to use OpenCode to rebuild the BridgeMind UI. I want you to create a new website using a singular one of these OpenCode agents using Next.js 16. And I want to use all of the BridgeMind assets, including the logo, everything that there is in the BridgeMind UI. But I need to completely revamp it, modernize it, have incredible animations. Let's just have one of these OpenCode agents create the project initially, and then we will prompt the other agents as we get further along in the project. Just have this initial agent do the setup, give it a perfect system prompt.
Sent to the active OpenCode. It's starting the Next.js revamp.
All right, guys, so here is what one Kimi K2.6 agent is able to build. So pretty much what I had it do is try to revamp the BridgeMind website. So here on the right, this is the results that Kimi K2.6 was able to produce. You guys can take a look at this and make your own judgments on it. So pretty much just a very basic, plain website. It's definitely better than Kimi K2.5 in what it was able to produce. That you guys see the interesting effects there. But if you look over here on the left, remember this was created using Claude Opus 4.7, and you can see that this is obviously like very polished up. There are unique components. Things are very symmetrical, very responsive. Whereas over on the right here, I just feel like Kimi K2.6 kind of created a crappier website, if that's the best way to describe it. This took quite a while to actually produce this. Look at this, 14 minutes and 12 seconds to produce this new Next.js project. Now, something to note is that the website isn't actually complete. So you can see the pricing is not completed there. The BridgeMind ecosystem pages are not actually complete. So for 14 minutes to create a new project with just a singular landing page and to have it look like this, I'm not super impressed. The speeds on this model are okay. They're kind of like Opus 4.7 level speeds, Opus 4.6 level speeds. It's like 95 tokens per second in BridgeBench, which we'll look at here in a second. But what I'm seeing here is that obviously this is kind of just like an AI slop website. Now we're going to follow up with an additional prompt and see what we can do in terms of animations and backgrounds. But just off of a one shot, not super impressed on what this one singular agent was able to create in 14 minutes. So let's see how Kimi K2.6 is able to work in a swarm. So let's use Bridge here. I want to significantly improve the backgrounds, build out the rest of the BridgeMind UI revamp site, and completely polish it up so that it's ready to get deployed into production. I also want unique background animations across the entirety of the site. Currently, we only have a singular landing page. I now want you to submit prompts to each of these OpenCode instances that will work on a different aspect of the site.
They're off. 4 new OpenCodes spun up on backgrounds, site structure, polish, and deploy. Original 8-test 2. Swarms rolling.
All right, so we've got this Kimi K2.6 swarm that's working. We're going to come back to this and see what it outputs because it probably is going to take a little bit of time to get the output from it. But let's let it run. Let's take a look at the BridgeBench results and really look at how Kimi K2.6 is performing on BridgeBench. Okay, so over here on BridgeBench, which is the world's #1 vibe coding benchmark, this is very useful because it measures not just a singular score, but it measures how a model does across different categories of vibe coding. So UI, security, refactoring, hallucination, BS, reasoning, and debugging and speed. So the first thing I want to show you guys is debugging, because this is where Kimi K2.6 actually really stands out. So Kimi K2.6 is #1 on the debugging benchmark, beating out Opus 4.6, GPT 5.4, Opus 4.7, and it does really, really well on the debugging benchmark. So that's one thing to know, is that Kimi K2.6 is actually really good at debugging. If we go back out, another area that it does well is the hallucination benchmark. So Kimi K2.6 ranks 3rd on the hallucination benchmark, scoring higher than Opus 4.7. It scores higher than GPT. So that's also very impressive that it does better on these 175 questions for hallucination. So Kimi K2.6 does very well on hallucination as well. Also BS, which is, a very important benchmark. Something to note here is that it scores very closely with Kimi K2.5. So Kimi K2.5 is right here. Kimi K2.6 scores number 8. 2.5 did number 9. So it's very similar with the BS, which basically it gives these models ridiculous prompts, and if it pushes back, then it's good. If it doesn't push back, it's bad. Like if it just accepts the nonsense prompt that it was given, it gives it a worse score, right? Refactoring, it does very well. So this is the refactoring benchmark, which is led by Claude Opus 4.7. Kimi K2.6 scores number 4 here. So very impressive on this benchmark as well. But one thing that I want to show you guys is the UI benchmark, because I think that it really does tell a story here about Kimi K2.6, and particularly this benchmark. So this is the UI benchmark. This is the lava lamp test. So this just prompts these models to just create a lava lamp. And if we go down here, you guys can look at some of the other lava lamps that were created by some of the other labs, but look at the Kimi K2.6 lava lamp. Let's pull this up, and you'll notice something very interesting about this. First of all, it's a terrible lava lamp, but second of all, it offers these customization options. So this was not asked in the system prompt that was given to create this lava lamp. You can adjust the speed, you can adjust the glow, you can change the colors. This is actually not good. This is not what you want to see out of an AI model, because if I give it a prompt to create a lava lamp and it creates this massive, customization, and then it just creates a blob, a rectangular blob, I didn't ask it for controls. So why did it give me controls? It shouldn't have done that, because I didn't ask it to do that. So that's something about Kimi K2.6 that you should know. Also, it failed on several of the benchmarks. So the Flappy Bird game, it failed. The Snake game, it failed. And I think that if we go over to it's the breakout game, this is another interesting instance where you can kind of see Kimi K2.6 not do great at following directions. So watch this. So this is the breakout game, and the functionality of the breakout game is just very odd. So, okay, I lost, but do you guys notice how when I hit the blocks, it just puts an X on them? That's another instance where this is not how you typically do breakout. This was just kind of hallucinated from Kimi K2.6. I didn't ask it to do this. Now, that's interesting, but this is a different functionality that I'm seeing from this breakout game than I'm getting with any other model. Like if we go out to, let's just go to the breakout game for Opus 4.7. All right, so here's Opus 4.7, and with Opus 4.7, it's just very simplistic and operates as just a very sleek, functional breakout game, where Kimi K2.6, it was just kind of doing a lot. So that's something that I don't want to see. When I prompt an AI model, I want it to follow my system prompt. And it seems like with Kimi K2.6, it does a lot that I don't ask it to do, which is definitely something that you want to take note of. But overall, across all of these benchmarks, Kimi K2.6, I think that debugging benchmark, scoring number 1, will definitely inflate the overall rankings. But here's what you're looking at with Kimi K2.6. The speed on the benchmark, 95 tokens per second in our benchmark. And again, it ranks number 5 overall. So that's a very big jump from Kimi K2.5. So Kimi K2.5 was literally ranked last on BridgeBench, and now Kimi K2.6 is ranked 5th. So you're going from 17th to 5th, which is a huge jump in capability on this benchmark. So good job for the Moonshot team on that, because yeah, that's a massive jump. It's going from 17 to 5th. So very impressive jump there. But overall, what I'm seeing on BridgeBench is that, yeah, the debugging benchmark stands out, the hallucination benchmark stands out, the refactoring benchmark stands out, and then for everything else, it's kind of like just middle of the pack. But you guys can go check this out for yourself at bridgebench.ai. But very impressive improvement from Kimi K2.5 to Kimi K2.6 on BridgeBench. Okay, so the agent swarm is now completed. You guys can see here that these two are finishing up, but they're pretty much done. One thing I want to show you guys is it did add in a light mode and a dark mode, but you know what's interesting is the mechanism that it used for light mode and dark mode. If you guys look at this, obviously it did not do this correctly, right? The agent that was working on implementing light mode and dark mode did not properly set this up so that across the entire website it would be receptive of this light mode, dark mode. So that's not good. Another thing I want to show you guys is this random bug here of I don't even know what this is. It's just like a rising light. I don't know what it is. It's on every single page. If we go to pricing, we can check out the pricing page. Let's go over there. The Kimi K2.6 agent swarm has completed, and we now have a complete website that has been completely redesigned. So let's take a look at this. So we now have a light mode and dark mode. The light mode, you could, kind of say it's not perfect, but here is the light mode. It looks better. It actually now, using one of the agents, who was able to integrate those icons. It didn't have that before, but we launched a ton of agents to do that. So the homepage looks a little bit better. Nice animations. Let's go over to the pricing page where you'll see some of these issues now start to arise. So you can see here that there's some weird bug that has random background effects here, and then it goes away. But here is the pricing page that I created. And the pricing page actually looks cool if you don't include this random rising white block. But that is kind of typical of a Kimi model, is that you'll just get these random issues, right? It's the same thing that we saw with the Kimi K2.6 lava lamp, is that, yeah, now you'll just have stuff like this is what it looks like when you try and create a site. You'll just have random bugs like this. Like, I don't even know what that is, right? All in all here, I think that Kimi K2.6 created a pretty subpar site when compared with other frontier models like Claude Opus 4.7. Now, you can't really compare open source with frontier labs, but the thing is that people are trying to compare them. So when you are comparing them, now I just had this page couldn't reload. So these are the issues that we're seeing with Kimi K2.6, right? And what is a little bit frustrating is that they are obviously benchmarking the model when it comes to two particular benchmarks, SWE Bench Pro and SWE Bench Verified, probably with every other benchmark as well, but those are the two important benchmarks when it comes to vibe coding. But you have to pay close attention to the output, because at the end of the day, benchmarks don't matter. It's about what are you able to build with it? What output does it produce? So, hey, at the end of the day, if I have on my pricing page just this random white rising block, Opus 4.7 is not doing this, okay? So, they're trying to put it in the same league as these Opus models, but it's just not. And I think that for people that are trying to put it in the same league, you just can't. So if you're somebody that's vibe coding, you're like, oh, Kimi K2.6 just dropped. It's good for an open source model, but you have to accept the fact that, yes, they are benchmarking these models. SWE Bench Pro, SWE Bench Verified, you can pretty much throw these benchmarks out at this point because, yeah, this is benchmarked. This is the actual output that is created by Kimi. I do think that the animation that created here was pretty cool and unique, but ultimately, I am not going to put the BridgeMind stamp of approval on this model. I will not be using Kimi K2.6 inside of my personal workflow. I think I've seen enough. You can look at it from the lava lamp test and see, okay, why is this model just randomly implementing features that I didn't even ask for, right? And why is this model not creating usable output? So just know that you can use this if you'd like. I think that this is probably now the leading open source model. So Moonshot AI is doing a very good job. But when you do compare it with Anthropic models or OpenAI models or Google models even, you just can't compare them. You just can't. These frontier labs are leading. And hey, Kimi, Moonshot, they're trying to put it in the same league, but the truth of it is that it's not. So I'm not going to put the BridgeMind stamp of approval on this one. It's an interesting model. I'm sure that there are places in your workflow, potentially like for debugging, where you could implement the model. And the thing is that I don't trust it enough to be able to use it, because I think that, you know, back to the lava lamp benchmark, why is it building in these random things that I didn't ask? What is that going to look like when it's in my Nest.js API, right? That's what's scary to me. So I'm not going to be using it personally, but I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, or if I missed anything, please let me know. And with that being said, make sure that you like, subscribe, and join the BridgeMind Discord community, the home of the vibe coding movement. And with that said, I will see you guys in the future.